Hi, I'm Lance Ford now. This is a Complexity Vidcast special. Our cameraman is the one and only Bill Gassard.
Hi there.
Scare him all the way, Bill. And I have a special guest, Ryan Williams, the man of the hour. So Ryan, this morning, you gave your complexity talk.
Yes.
You want to give a short description?
Well, I was a little sleep deprived, but I managed to give a talk about how the class NX is not contained in non-uniform ACC. And the connection goes, so the theorem's proved by showing that if you can get better algorithms for satisfiability of these ACC circuits, these can be turned into lower bounds against ACC circuits.
I know it's. We went through this on our earlier podcast. Of course, many times on my blog. I think it's just sort of a beatable theorem, and then next step in the evolution of circular lower bounds. Well, obviously, it's a long way from here to P versus NP, I assume.
Yeah, not coming around the bend anytime soon. That's a shame.
Nevertheless, just a kind of paper where he draws in lots of recent theorems of de-randomization and interactive proofs and pseudo-randomness, all sorts of, and then uses some ideas from your paper last summer. This idea of turning upper bounds and lower bounds.
Yeah, lots of little ingredients from complexity theory.
And so for those few people who haven't heard, what are your plans where are you going to be next year?
Oh, in the fall I'm starting as a professor at Stanford.
So complexity theory has worked for you.
Yeah. Complexity theory has been very good to me.
That's good. Let this be a lesson to all of you. You too can succeed in complexity theory if you settle major open questions like Ryan does. And what are your what are you working on now? Now that this is an ancient result of this morning.
Well, I've been trying to extend these techniques in different directions, trying to see if we can prove that exponential time is not an ACC, and maybe we can show that NX isn't an NC1. So these are two ways to extend the thing. I've been thinking about both directions. Nothing big yet, but I don't see a proof of NX not NP/poly being so far away. But maybe I'm just too optimistic.
Even next time you get a BPP?
Oh, well, yeah, I think that's even closer.
Okay. Right. So for our general listeners, that's like 9 terms exponential time. As far as we know, it could be solved quickly, probabilistically. Well, none of us really believe that's true.
Yeah.
The state of our knowledge is still a little bit weak.
Right.
So Ryan, tell us a little about yourself as a person. So what kind of person? I remember first meeting you, and you were working on consciousness, if I remember.
Yeah.
Really?
Your advisor, Manuel.
Yeah.
Boss.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ryan is actually believe it or not, Ryan is my academic uncle.
Well, you don't look it.
Yeah. I hide the gray well.
My advisor's advisor is Ryan's advisor.
Ah.
So how was working with Manuel?
Oh, it was a great pleasure. We argued all the time, but we had lots of fun. I mean, it was an extremely educational experience. He always demanded clarity of everything you're doing, clarity of thought. Yeah, it was a great experience.
So I think that's an important thing. I think people don't realize that enough. It's a lot more than where you go to grad school or what happens or what courses you take. The relationship with your advisor, I always feel that's a critical part of a successful grad student career. There are people who seem to manage to do well just working on their own. You know, but I think having a good advisor through the relationship.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always been my philosophy. It seems to work well for Ryan.
Yeah, he was extremely supportive. Well, I mean, he's had a number of great students.
Oh, Manuel Blum is, perhaps, besides Mike Sipser, my advisor, there's so many, right?
Russell
and
Macaulay.
Umesh, right? And Silvio and Chaffee, I think. And Silvio Macaulay and Chaffee Goldwasser are famous photographers. And just many, many more. I mean,
Luis gave a talk at the plenary session.
Really?
That's right. He did capture stuff with Manuel. Manuel's done a lot of things. It's hard to believe Manuel Blum was initially famous for abstract complexity measures. He essentially did recursion theory in grad school. But I once asked him, so it's kind of interesting that abstract complexity sort of died when Cook's theorem and P versus NP came out, and I asked Manuel about it. And Manuel said something like, "Well, they got it right." So I moved on to photography. And that was, that's exactly what happened. So he did crypto, and then he did other things.
I think I tried to talk with him about abstract complexity once. He didn't want to.
He didn't want to, right? When I was trying to decide to go to grad school, and he was asking, and he asked me what I wanted to work on. I said, well, maybe computability or complexity. And he says, oh, you don't want to do computability. It's a dead area of like computability friends don't see. It got better.
So what honors have you won for this paper?
Well, best paper award at the Complexity Conference, and
far more importantly,
best paper of the year.
Paper of the year.
Theorem
of the year. Now, Computational Complexity weblog. So keep that in mind. Win paper of the year, get a job at Stanford. Okay? Of course, it's a statistical sample of one. No other paper of the year awards have gone on, like Omer Reingold. Look, he's a famous Microsoft researcher now. So, and do you know how we decide paper of the year on the complexity blog? How do we do it, Bill?
You say, how about this paper? And I say, that's a good idea.
Yeah, so right, I take bribes.
That's not a good system.
All right, we're probably running out of time. Anything you want to say to the complexity world, Ryan?
Just go with your gut. Don't believe what everyone else is saying. Just follow your nose. That's
right. When people say, "Oh, that's an interesting idea, Ryan," but you're not going to get anything out of it.
Yeah, don't listen to that.
Just prove them wrong.
Don't listen to that unless it's true. Then listen to that. That's what I say.
All right. So once again, in a complex world, best to keep it simple.